What we see here today is probably a fairly typical situation for a lot of feedlot operations where they group house their horses in 1 or 2 pens. There's, I guess you visit with people and some of the feedlots I've looked at, they've got some options, and the one I kind of like is individual runs, and I think if everybody had a chance to do it, they'd probably like to run each cowboy's horse in an individual run, like 2 or 3 horses to that run, and have an option to individually feed those horses if they could. I think that takes away some of the dominant behavior of the horses and the chances of them getting hurt in the pen. Also on the rest and riding situation, in cases where horses are working really hard, you know, and the ground maybe not be as good, a lot of mud and situations like that, I think they probably do switch them out a little bit more often. I know one feedlot we looked at, they ride their horses for a half a day, and then they'll have 2 other horses that they'll rotate with, so that horse has got a full day rest before he comes back on again in the riding. So they kind of use those 3 horses. In another situation, they have 2 horses that they ride. They alternate them, one day, another one the next day, and they'll ride them for about 3 months that way, and then they'll kick them out for 3 months and give them a rest and kind of get them built back up. So there's probably a lot of different ways to do that, but I think the key point is that the horses have a chance to rest a little bit and aren't worn down and kind of get in poor condition, have a chance to recover with their legs and things. I think as we look at pen situations, most feedlots are pretty well established in where their horse pens are. I think if you were thinking about building a new one, the horse pen needs to be on the best ground and probably be the best pen on the place. And that kind of goes with those horses are fairly expensive to have a good one, and you want to keep them going. And to do that, they can't be standing in mud all the time and need to have a good place to lay down if they want to. And I think that's a good way to have it, and you know, the best pen and also the best feed probably on the place. Especially if we're going to use these round bale feeders. Moldy feed is a real problem, and we would want to make sure that we don't have any mold in that feed and cause those horses any respiratory problems. So find the best feed. I know a lot of guys will probably use alfalfa, keep those horses in condition, and alfalfa would be one that's especially critical to make sure that's clean and not any mold in there. Okay, and of course we've got access, free choice access to water, and those waters be clean like the cattle pens. And again, if we can spread out where we feed our grain in the pen, or in some situations where they feed as they work, they get a chance to give that horse a little extra feed. I think that's probably a good idea also. I don't know if we've talked about the Rumensin thing, but Rumensin or any of those type products are a problem with horses, and we just need to make sure that those feed truck drivers know that we're not going to empty out the load and treat the horses extra nice, or don't make a mistake, leave any chance that they can make a mistake that they would ever feed horses the same ration as the cattle.